Connecting bridge to Pulse chain. Connecting ledger up through the contract. EMP on BSC sent to the Pulse chain.
36-bit collect the fees, try go up, only green, connect the chains, prove the contracts, bridge the assets to make a gain. APR so high, so juicy, for the look like Gary Busey, EMP flossing, tossing, 36-50 we secret thousand.
Bridge, Pulse chain, bridge, BSC. Transaction status success. 69 block confirmations. 420 UTC.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ. I am the team lead here, and this is our live AMA. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. I'm usually joined by my co-host with the most, LA, but we are making some killer power moves in the background, and we'll talk all about that today as well. But unfortunately, she is not available. She is actually traveling, and we'll have more info on that hopefully next week. But anyway, welcome. This is another super bullish AMA. As you can see from the title, this is our major bridge announcement. And those that are in the socials have seen that it's already live. I'm going to go and do a walkthrough of the bridge and some of the other swapping options. We'll talk a lot of why this is so bullish and some other great updates as well. So again, welcome. Before we get started, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, that really helps our algorithm and get the word out to more people, especially on a day like today where we're trying to really get mass adoption for our bridge. This is a great video to send people to learn more about the protocol. So please do that, and we will be taking questions at the end. I'm going to try to keep this as short and sweet as possible. Again, without my co-host, I'm managing a lot of balls in the air right now. So we'll get to questions, but if I skip over some of them, please forgive me, and we'll pick that up again on Thursday. So all right, I'm gonna go ahead and just start off by doing a screen share of the bridge and show you guys things in action. Give me about 1 second here while I get everything pulled up. All right, hopefully all of you can see that. If there is any issues, just let me know in the chat. But as you can see, Sparkswap.xyz now working completely. Again, we had it. The website was down for about 20 minutes today while we were migrating everything over, but looking really healthy. Speaking of migration too, we did migrate the EMP ETH LP as well as the Spark Goat LP. So the vast majority of you have already done that. There would be a pop-up on your screen right now if you have not. So again, just make sure to double check that. You'll get a pop-up that says you need to migrate. I've already done it on this wallet, so I don't need to. And I was going to do a walkthrough of that as well today, but there's only about $14,000 worth of LP left. So the vast majority of you did it no problem, and we tried to make it as easy as we could. So if any of you need individual help knowing how to migrate or what to do, please join our Telegram or Discord. They'll be more than happy to help you. Just please don't respond to any DMs. There's scammers everywhere. We will never DM you. We will never provide direct support. All of it will be done publicly in the main chat. So please be very careful with that. But all right. How do we bridge? So, and we'll talk a lot more about why this is important in a minute here, but I wanted to show everybody how to do it first. So you'll go over here, you go to trade, then you'll go down to bridge. All right, and make sure that you are on the bridge tab right here, and you can choose where you want to go. So where you're going to either pulse to BSC, and now you can even transfer to Arbitrum. So not only are we BSC to pulse, but now we're BSC to pulse to ARB. So this is massive. To my knowledge, we're the first actually hard-coded bridge that is interoperable with Arbitrum, and we'll be bringing a lot of our community, or a lot of the Arbitrum community, over to Pulse this way, and vice versa. Depending on what you want to bridge, again, other really bullish news, not only are you able to bridge EMP, but now we have two stable token options, and it's a further partnership with Dex Finance, the guys that we have essentially gotten in bed with to continue to build out Sparkswap and be a real DEX on Pulse Chain. So again, you can choose your assets. If you're coming from Arbitrum, you can only use USDEX, but USDEX is fully collateralized with USDC. So, and in our announcements channel, or all of our socials, we have instructions on how you can actually mint USDEX and then bridge it over as well. Or you can just buy it on the swap. So either way would work. And then again, coming back, if you have Pulse, like I have some USDEX on Pulse, you would just put it over and send. So all the contract addresses are at the bottom for those that need to add it to your MetaMask. And again, if you're going to BSC, you can choose either EMP or DAI to move it over. So again, really, really powerful, super easy. And the great thing about having it DAI and USDEX is that it's a stable token option. So there's very little price impact. Again, you don't have to worry about moving. If you're moving EMP and somebody buys a bunch of EMP, then you either get more or less depending on the volatility. But with a stable token, you don't have to worry about that. You just worry about the flat fees. So I think that's really a great overview of how the bridge works. It's been averaging about 45 seconds to bridge assets, which is literally about 50 to 100 times faster than the ETH PLS bridge. Again, that's been averaging anywhere from half an hour to an hour. And the fees have been absolutely astronomical. So ETH gas fees have been, upwards of $100 over the last few days as the market has recovered. And that's only going to get more expensive as the price of ETH and the network activity raises. So this is an amazing product market fit, and we hope to be the go-to bridge for a PLS, period. Again, we're faster and we're cheaper and we're just as safe, if not safer. So really exciting stuff. Again, just to recap a few things, make sure when you're swapping with these new farms that you're using V2. All of the liquidity for USDEX and DAI or SDAI are on V2. So again, it'll show you all the pairs that are accessible for V2. If you're getting an error of major price impact, that's usually because you're on the wrong version. So again, and eventually, over the next few weeks, everything will be on V2. We're going to continue to migrate Spark PLS, an ETH pair, hopefully, and all the different tokens that are available through PulseX will then be available on our own LP in Sparkswap, and that'll be V2, and then you'll have a lot easier time routing between pairs. So we're moving very fast, and there's going to be a lot of changes over the next few weeks. So again, please bear with us and be patient. But I said this in the chat earlier. I still consider Sparkswap in pre-alpha, meaning or pre-launch, because we're still laying the groundwork, for becoming a full-fledged DEX. And by the end of the year, I think that we are going to have massive market share on the Pulse side. So again, super bullish for the future and what we're building. So and then finally, I want to go over the farms and the pools real quick. Again, all the APRs are variable, but they've been super healthy. Again, the pools have come down. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the new farms that you need to pay attention to are these two right here, SDI and SDI USDX. Again, SDI is just a synthetic die or Sparkswap die, however you want that S to stand for. And SDI is fully collateralized. So the die, it's backed by die within the bridge contract. So, it's not a made up token. It has full backing as well. But again, if you bridge SDI back to BSC, then you get DAI, you get actual DAI. So again, SDI is just a synthetic version on Pulse. That being said, again, we're trying to build liquidity on these farms, so the APR is extremely healthy. Again, especially considering their stable pairs. I don't know any other stables you'll be able to earn this well, especially on Pulse. So please consider adding some LP because ultimately we'd like to get the total LP, in the 1 to 2 million range. So again, right now we're at about just about 300,000 between the two farms. So continue to add as you can. And as a bonus, we have withdrawn or removed the deposit fees on these farms. So you're only getting hit with the 2% withdrawal when you finally do withdraw. But for now, the deposit fee has been waived, and it will be that way for the foreseeable future as we continue to build liquidity. Also, while we're here, we are slowly discontinuing the DAI USDC LP. So again, I know a lot of you were in this pool. There was about $2 million in that alone. It's come down dramatically now, only about 400,000. But again, we've also removed the withdrawal fee on the DAI USDC farm, so that you can go directly into either SDI USDX if you'd rather have exposure to USDC, or the SDI DAI if you'd rather have exposure to DAI. So if you're in the DAI USDC farm, it's a no-brainer to move towards one of the other two farms. So, all right, hopefully that sums all of that up. Again, the APR has to come from somewhere, so we have been reducing the APR in the pools. We will continue to reduce the APR in the pools as well. So if you have DAI in here, again, another 400 grand of DAI in here, I would highly recommend removing that and putting it into one of the new farms. The pools really do nothing for the protocol other than the in and out fees. So the farms are way more beneficial and way more sustainable. So again, I know 90% of you probably have already more than ROI'd even with the in and out fees. And so if you have not, then you just have to stay in the pools long enough to make your fees back, and then you can get out. But again, we're not going to be getting rid of the pools overnight, but they will slowly be phased out. So, all right, and then last but not least, Sparkler was printing like a mofo today. We had a massive payout in Sparkler. Again, a lot more coming As you can see, I have a lot locked up. In Sparkler, again, we play the game just like all of you do. Being part of the team, we only earn from Sparkler. So, again, super bullish. And yeah, it was a massive payout. So the payout in Sparkler today is a sign of things to come. We have another month or so of really making sure that all the arbitrage bots have enough, liquidity in them. Again, paying for development of, a lot of the additional things we're adding. But after that, Sparkler will be printing massively, and today was just a precursor to that as well. So again, I already harvested, but I'm sure you can see in the chat there was a massive Sparkler print today for those that want to know more. So all right, let me go back over and give some more updates, but that was just a quick run through of everything that is brand new and why it's so exciting. So all right, bear with me. All right, so back to my notes, and then again, if anybody has questions, please feel free to type them in the chat. Whatever I miss, please feel free to add it at the end as well. But as I was saying, you can now use the DAI, SDAI, when bridging between BSC and Pulse. This has been a massive request from everybody, and I think that we will absolutely be able to have a lot more volume and market share with that moving forward. And not only is that bullish, but now we're interoperable with Arbitrum. So again, US Dex from Pulse to Arbitrum is a great way to get involved. An entire community from Arbitrum coming over now. And again, to my knowledge, the only hard-coded bridge from Arbitrum to Pulse. So, and it's cool because, Arbitrum is a layer 2 for ETH. So, you know, uh, you're basically still able to use Ethereum, on Arbitrum without paying the gas fees. So, and we'll have a lot more announcements coming with that as well. Again, I know everybody's been asking for another ETH pair or a way to bridge ETH as well. Again, I can't confirm nor deny, but that may be on the horizon for sure. So, all right. Again, all of this is brought to you by our incredible dev team that has been working, nonstop. Again, forgive me today, even not only am I flying solo, but I'm a little bit tired. We were literally up all weekend getting this finished and out the door. We have an incredible dev team now partnered with DexFi. Again, Dex Finance, they're also helping us build L1 Dex. But now we have all hands on deck, and we're developing extremely fast now, and they are the really competent dev team. I mean, we're doing things that no other protocols are doing, especially on Pulse. So, really exciting stuff moving forward, and we will only continue to grow our relationship with DexFi as we move forward together. So, again, another really important part of all this and why you should care, either EMP or Spark community, either or of those. This is just incredible exposure. It's a deeper, connection between all of our ecosystems, and it's a revenue stream. So, this bridge, the arbitrage bots, the more volume, the more fees, the swap fees. Again, that's one of the reasons why we're moving all the LP to Sparkswap is that now we're getting all of the swap fees, not just part of them, by being on Pulse X. So this is just massive revenue to the protocol, and rather than going, to the devs' pockets or, predators that want to extract value, all of that value is remaining in the ecosystem. So again, whether that's, supporting the price of Spark through Sparkler, paying out more rewards, through Sparkler, deepening the liquidity on the bridge. There's just so many things that we can do with that capital, and then once Fusion launches, a large part of that revenue will also be diverted to Fusion as real revenue. So it's bullish for everybody involved. And again, the idea is that we continue to scale and generate enough rewards that everybody is getting paid. Sparkler, Sparkswap, all the APRs and the farms are paid by real fees rather than inflation, and it's a revenue stream for Fusion. So there will be plenty of money to go around. Right now, it's just building the infrastructure and having those revenue streams in place as we move forward. So really exciting stuff. And again, it's going to make our entire ecosystem that much stronger. And we haven't even really talked about L1 Dex yet. So once L1 Dex is up and rolling, now we have an interoperable Dex where SparkSwap is, the Pulse side liquidity for when L1 Dex is interoperable with Pulse. We transition the bridge into that tech, so the bridge is even faster and cheaper. I mean, there's just so many. Again, we could spend 4 hours going over all the incredibly bullish things that we're getting ready to release on the world. So, in due time, though. All right, and then last but not least, as I said, the Sparkler rewards were massive today. So, again, remember that Sparkler is the secret sauce. If you're not doing maximum stakes inside of Sparkler, you are absolutely missing out. Um, and make sure that you're not all in on just Sparkler, where you also have positions in the farm so that you can use the Spark that you earn to continue to feed Sparkler and really combat any dilution that you may have from others adding more Spark. And Sparkler is the long game. I mean, again, uh, you're foregoing the quick profit by just selling Spark outright. But if you're in Sparkler, you can, earn literally for the next 10 years on the maximum stakes. And, even the most conservative uh, ROI calculators allow you to completely ROI in about 200 days, even at today's prices, which means literally, 9.5 years additional of earning, as the protocol builds. So I don't know what else to say, but Sparkler is really just an absolute game changer. So, and that doesn't include the price appreciation of PLS as well. And again, we see Spark down a little bit today in price, but you have to remember Pulse is also down, almost 10%. So it is the double-edged sword of being tied to Pulse so closely with our LP. But when Pulse does a 10 or 20 or who knows, 100x over the next 10 years, it will be a massive upside, and again carry Spark with it. So all right, let me get to my next set of notes. Hang on one second. All right, one more time just to recap again. I just showed everybody live on screen, but if you want to go over it in text version, it is posted in all of our socials. But I'll just go through it. Again, you want to go to sparkswap.xyz. That way you can go to Bridge and swap through that. There are two new farms, SDI and SDI US Dex. SDI DAI is the you can do that bridging and DAI from BSC will automatically give you SDI on PLS. So again, if you don't want to swap, you can get DAI on BSC, bridge that in, and you will receive SDI on Pulse. It is fully collateralized with proof of reserves and will always be $1. Again, not only is it collateralized, but we have a arbitration bot that will maintain that at $1 no matter what. And then you just purchase DAI actual DAI on Pulse, you can buy that on Sparkswap V1 or Pulse X with any other asset you may have. Or again, we always encourage using Sparkswap V1 for that. But however you need to get the other side, you can, and then provide LP. Now the SDAI US Dex, that again is also fully collateralized and backed by USDC on Arbitrum. And as a rollout, we have actually, or the DexFi team has reopened minting of US Dex, so you can mint your own US Dex on DexSwap and then bridge it over to Pulse. Or again, you can swap for it on the exchange. So just remember a few things to keep in mind. We have removed the deposit fees on the new farms. Again, there's still the 2% withdrawal fee, but the idea is that you just want to leave it in there and earn the best that you can and worry about withdrawing later to make it even more attractive. The APR should settle right around 60% APR. Again, it's just going to depend on the price of Spark, how many people are in the pool, but our goal is to make it the most attractive stable token earner on Pulse for sure, if not on the majority of crypto in general. So uh, you could easily make back your withdrawal fee in under a month at today's prices. So we also may adjust these fees in the future. So be aware of that. But for now, it's about building as much liquidity in the farms as possible. So, all right, a few other disclaimers, and then we will go into some Q&A. Swap fees and bridging fees are a bit higher at the moment. So, we did this on purpose. Mainly the swap fees. The bridge fees are pretty are still that 0.5%, but the swap fees are actually 1% rather than 0.3, and we only did that in the short term because liquidity is still pretty low. But again, if you're swapping $100, you're only paying $1 in fees. So again, just be aware of that, and it will the fees will come down dramatically. We're just doing this in the short term to disincentivize a large amount of swaps in either direction. And then as soon as we have enough liquidity, we'll adjust the fees back down. So just again, be mindful of slippage, price impact, and fees when you're converting or swapping. I don't be the guy or girl that's in the chat not knowing what is clearly put on all the UI. So, all right, and then obviously with all that we're doing, there is a major marketing push this week as well. We have another AMA train on the way, so choo choo to all of you. There'll be some massive endorsements and a lot more AMAs this week around the bridge. So really exciting times, no doubt. All right, I think we are ready for Q&A. Again, I know it's a little fast today. We wanted to make it short and sweet. So please feel free to ask me questions in the live chat. I'm going to go ahead and look through and see if I missed anything. So bear with me. All right, so yeah, this is a great point. I didn't even mention this. We'll talk more about it on Thursday. But we do have a new autocompounder on Impulse. So again, a lot of you that have been here for the long run, um, Impulse was the original name of the Tomb Fork that we were going to launch on Pulse. We decided against that again, knowing the pitfalls that Tomb Forks have, and so however, another protocol adopted that name, and they are an auto vault protocol on Pulse, and we are working with them now on a few vaults So if you do see that announcement, it is legit. The idea is that we want to be very careful with auto compounders because obviously we don't want people selling Spark, and adding additional selling pressure to build their bags. And again, I don't want that to sound worse than it does, but the idea is that you're utilizing your Spark inside a Sparkler, not necessarily selling it for more other assets. But it is a native pair, meaning that Spark is in the LP. That means that it's only really half the selling pressure. So we are moving forward with auto vaults for GOAT and eventually Spark PLS as well. So right now the first farm or auto vault rather is Spark GOAT, and Impulse is also giving some rewards on top of the the farm as well. So shout out to them. Seems like a great group of people really trying to build in the space, and eventually the plan is to have our own vaults. Again, just dropping some alpha for all of you. Now that we're working with DexFi directly, anything that you would see in the DexFi ecosystem will easily be implemented on Sparkswap. But it's a great solution for us in the short term. And anything that adds buying and selling volume to GOAT is really bullish. So again, if you're not into GOAT token yet, please go check them out. Again, we have other AMAs that have a lot more info on that as well. So yes, the Impulse Autocompounder is legit. All right. And oh, on that note too, we are considering another auto compounder that rather than again selling Spark rewards into other native assets, even if it is Spark, the idea is that we're gonna actually put together an auto compounder that takes your Spark rewards and puts it into Sparkler uh, for you. So this could be really bullish. Again, that's a little more complicated than it sounds. But imagine being able to create automatic stakes, and again, most likely maximum stakes on your behalf, and then earn through Sparkler. It could be really, really killer. So lots of stuff coming. Again, we can only get it so much done in the short amount of time that we have, but it's all happening for sure. So, all right, Vino, I think Vino's here. He had his hand up. Vino, what's up, brother? Did you want to jump on?
Hey, yeah, I found a question that I thought was interesting in SparkSwap, and I thought I'd relay it to you, if that's okay.
Yes, brother, please. Thank you. Any help today I can get, I appreciate it, brother. So, yeah, man, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Okay, so this question says, and I'm going to build on it just a little bit, but it says, is the SparkSwap bridge only planned to be used for bridging between Pulse and back, or is there a plan for bridging between other bridges, like going from Arbitrum to Binance Smart Chain, for example? And that comes from John, and I'll build on that just a little
For
bit.
sure.
But with L1X and the technology that they're coming out with, to start out, they aren't adopting Pulse Chain to start out. And is there a possibility to still use the Sparkswap bridge for something like Arbitrum to Binance Smart Chain for those users that do not want to use L1X, or that the fact that they maybe want to wait a little bit and see how the technology rolls out?
Yeah, no, I love this question, Vino. So, yeah, I would say a little bit of both. So, the short answer is, and people think that once you have a bridge, it's just really easy to implement new chains or new pairs, but it's really not that simple. The technology and the code is there, but whenever you add a new token, you have to have the routing, you have to have the liquidity. There's a lot of things that go into actually allowing you to bridge an asset, even though the bridge is done basically. So the short answer is, as of right now, the main goal is just simply on and off ramping through Pulse itself. there's many other options right now. And you know, to your point with L1 Dex, that will be the solution when bridging to other chains. You know, again, you know, Arbitrum to BSC, Stargate is a great option. Right now, it's, you know, fast and cheap. So we need to kind of make sure that we are building for the low-hanging fruit. I don't think we're ready to tackle, you know, a giant like Stargate right now. You know, again, they have multi-millions of liquidity, and they're pretty established in terms of bridging through the main chains. But that's the beauty of L1 Dex. I mean, if that technology is everything that we think it is, and again, we're able to build out L1 Dex, then yeah, I mean, we simply just replace the bridge that we have now, and now you're able to bridge between literally all the interoperable chains seamlessly. So yeah, it will be a staged rollout. Right now, we're focusing on, you know, in and out bridging of Pulse itself, but over the long run, there will be many other options, and that's just more and more volume and swap fees that we will collect as a protocol. So does that make sense, Vino? I think you pretty much understand. You already laid the groundwork, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand. I just wanted to ask that question because another user chimed in about L1X, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on the AMA for it.
Yeah, brother. No, I appreciate you jumping on. So yeah, and we'll have more updates on that as we go. You know, and we still can add interoperability to our own bridge, but it's gonna just be based on what the community wants and, you know, where the demand is for sure. So uh it's a gradual process, but hopefully by next year, early next year, or even end of this year, L1 Dex will be able to start facilitating even more options for everybody. Cool. All right. Thank you, Vino. All right. I see a little more questions here, I think. Um, yeah, so you have to swap SDI on V2. Yeah, again, all the liquidity is on V2, so make sure that when you're swapping, you're on V2. And a great way to know if you're doing it right is the price impact. So if you're getting hit with major price impact on the pairs that you're trying to swap through, then either try different pairs or make sure that you're on V2 and vice versa. You know, if you're trying to just buy DAI with PLS, you're much better off doing that on V1 or Pulse X, and then, you know, using that DAI to buy SDAI on V2. I know it's really confusing in the beginning, but remember the reason that, you know, or what we're doing is we're transitioning all of the LP to essentially V2 or whatever is on Sparkswap. And, you know, in the near future, there will not be any V1, V2. It'll just be all Sparkswap LP. So the smart routing will be there. It'll be able to switch between, you know, whatever pairs we have so you can get the tokens that you want. And when that happens, we are literally competing. Even now, I mean, we're competing, but once we get rid of PulseX completely, we are, you know, essentially the second largest DEX on Pulse Chain, which is just so bullish. So, and the idea is that we want to compete for the top spot too. So, and again, I don't mean that in a negative or malicious way. I think competition is very healthy, and you know, obviously we love PulseX and Pulse and Richard Hart and the entire Pulse Chain community. We're just here to continue to deliver, unlike other projects in the space. So, all right, I think that is it.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah, Jay. Joe, what's up, brother? How are you, man? Long time no talk.
You're flying solo today, so I
I am,
figure
man.
Vino
Yeah,
popped in for a little. I'll pop in real quick. So,
please,
as you
brother.
were talking
Absolutely.
on this, I said, "Hey, let me get my stablecoin that's sitting there in Pancake when I did some trades and took some profit." they're just sitting there doing nothing. You know how I hate idle assets. So,
Yes, brother.
you know, you
Absolutely.
got me excited about the new DAI US Dex. So while you were on the call, I was able to move over DAI from BSC over to Pulse and do all the approvals. And then I sold half my DAI for the US Dex, which all went seamless. So bridging and then doing the swap, selling half of my DAI that I brought over, and then doing the approvals, making the LPs. Really, first time doing it. It was like, I want to say less than 10 minutes. I got it
Amazing.
in, and I've earned 6 cents. So we're killing it already.
Right on,
Um,
Joe. I love it, brother. Yeah.
yeah, and as far as the fees, like you said, I know like you have to make the fees higher, but to me that's like irrelevant because right now it's earning what 105%. So in about 7 days, that 2% out fee plus what the 1% transfer. So in less than 30 days, all that's a wash and it's irrelevant. So
For sure.
someone's asking the question about how long do you think it'll stay at 60%? But I mean, it's all about trust, right? So I am not worried having funds over here. And you know, I've moved over quite a bit of ETH over, and I've been able to earn using the whole strategy with the 365 team that I got in on. I actually was a little late, but hey, I've been in long enough, like you said, that right now everything is gravy and it's working good. And the fact that I know that the funds are safe, I'm just so bullish. All the things you're adding on here, and like you said, once you start getting all these tokens all merged together and more people learn about this, it's going to be insane because it's just so simple. And, you know, there's that expression, the best technology is the technology you don't notice. And that's what you're making here. You know, there's, like you said, there's so much going on in the background to make these things work, and people don't notice it. But yeah, you've made it in such a simple way that anyone that's been in DeFi can hop on this and in a short, minute, be able to navigate around and figure out how to start earning at these like crazy high yields. And I know where the bull runs kind of come back, but we're still kind of that in that phase where, you know, we're not back to 2021 time. So it's amazing that we can earn these returns while we wait for the full bull run to come. And there's just so much coming between this Fusion, and you know I'm active over at L1X also. I mean, the whole partnership. There's just so much going on in the background. I don't think people realize what hammer is going to drop in the next few weeks. This is like insane, and I'm really excited to be part of all of it.
I love it, Joe. Hell yeah, bro. That's super bullish. And again, man, it's really good to hear from you. I appreciate you jumping on, especially while I'm flying solo today. But yeah, for those that don't know, Joe has been a massive supporter of the ecosystem. He hasn't been around much lately because he's got his hands full over at L1X. But that doesn't mean that he's not still participating. And yeah, it's great to hear from you, brother. And I couldn't agree more. I mean, again, you know, everything you said is completely spot on. We're trying to, and it's not even trying anymore. We are building an incredible ecosystem. And you know, to answer the question again, just to clarify things, how long will the APR last? I mean, you know, again, APR is variable, so I really, you know, hate to say one thing and then have it end up being another. But what I can say is the US DAI, SDAI, and SDAI USD, US Dex, both of those farms, obviously we will be incentivizing them for the foreseeable future because, again, the farms have a direct positive impact on the protocol, and the deeper the liquidity we can build on those stable pairs, the more volume and the less price impact on swapping and bridging. So their goal is to have literally millions of dollars in those farms, and so we're going to do everything we can to promote and incentivize those farms. And you know, again, even earning, I mean, good lord, even earning 10% APR on stables is about the best you can find in crypto. So we are going to try to be extremely competitive. You know, the goal for, you know, the short term is, you know, around that 60% APR. You know, but even you know, a few months from now at, you know, 30% APR, it would still be again extremely competitive. and you are not exposed to any impermanent loss on those farms because they're both stable tokens, and because they're fully collateralized. Again, there would never be a situation where there'd be a run on the bank and we see them go down. We're not buying Bitcoin with the reserves like Terra Luna did. I mean, it's all stable assets. And we have an arbitrage bot that again maintains that parity at $1 anyway to reduce, even the very minimal 0.001% impermanent loss. So it's about as safe as you can get. Again, there's risk with everything, but those farms are extremely safe. Again, and we have the audits and track record to prove that we've never had an exploit either. So all really great stuff. And again, those farms are way more beneficial to the protocol than the pools. I know there's been a lot of discussion around the pools. We've said all along that those APRs will eventually go down and down and down. If you are in the pools, I know just based on the on-chain data, over 90% of people that are in the pools have already ROI'd. If you get unlucky, and go into the pools and now, and then the pools continue to go down, that's a decision that you made. We're not here pushing the buttons for you. So the pools will be eventually phased out, and then all those emissions will go towards, the other farms and core farms that we need to, incentivize. So I know that again, there's a lot of moving parts right now, but over the long run, this will become way more standardized, and again, a little more alpha for all of you. I think the ultimate goal, again, we're not talking in the short term, but next year, and when we eventually move away from inflation, the goal is to actually have the exchange operate as a DAO, where you can actually vote on what emissions you want to go where. At that point, maybe there is a proposal to bring the pools back. I mean, again, if that's what the community votes on, then that's what a DAO will implement. So it will, right now we're making a lot of decisions on behalf of the community, but eventually this will be fully autonomous and, completely decentralized. And, in terms of code, we already are, moving in that direction. So, all right, I hope that helps everybody. That I think was all the questions. Vino or Joe, was there any other questions I missed that you could see or?
I can't speak for Joe, but I got Discord open and swapping through the chats, and I don't really see any, man.
All right, awesome guys. Well then, yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up. I mean, it still was about an hour today. Again, I missed my co-host with the most, LA. She's making some major power moves in the background. Again, if all goes well this week, I can't wait to announce that. And so, yeah, again, just continue to help us spread the word. We will be doing a bunch of AMAs this week, but the goal is that we just have to get this bridge in front of everybody. So, it literally is cheaper, faster, and safer than every other option out there right now. So, it's a no-brainer. We just gotta let people know about it. So, if you all can help me spread the word, again, there's a difference between shilling, and being annoying than just giving people a heads up that this is a legit bridge. So please be respectful. But yeah, it's now is the time that we really focus on product or market share of what we have. So all right, awesome. Well, thank you everybody for being here. Appreciate all of you. Again, we will be back on Thursday. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. LA will hopefully be back for that AMA on Thursday, and we'll no doubtedly have even more alpha for all of you on Thursday. And again, I know we're going to get this comment, so I'll address it now. We are still working on Fusion, so again, please be bear with us. We're making major headway on Sparkswap, and that will only make Fusion even more powerful. So I know it's frustrating to continue to wait, but Fusion will be an absolute beast once we have all this infrastructure in place. And we've said it many times, but if you're bullish on Sparkler, that same sort of mechanism in Sparkler, again, rewarding all of you in real yield as owners of the protocol, that is exactly what Fusion is times 10. So Fusion is Sparkler on steroids. So if that doesn't get you excited, then I can't help you. So all right, much love to all of you, and we'll see you on Thursday. Good night, good day. See you soon.